props as usual, so usual things apply. No props. Any questions, hit me up in the chat. Also, just a reminder, I typically don't do the whole workout with you, so if you see me stop, that means you just keep going. Just ignore me, I'm just a voice. So, and most importantly, just have fun with it, especially if you're not familiar with my work or Pilates in general. It might be a little bit different, so just enjoy yourselves and have fun. You want to start standing. Feet are going to go parallel hip width apart. And you want to make sure you have space in front of you. You'll eventually see me turn profile in a minute, so I'll be turning my side to the camera. But for right now, I'm going to face y'all. IQ, parallel hip width apart, so pokey parts of the hips, look down. That is where your hips should be, or your feet should be. So if you hear me say that, which you'll hear me say that a lot, that's what that means. So more than likely, you might not be as wide as you're feeling today. It's a little bit more narrow than you realize. Let's start with some standing roll down. So like I said, make sure you space because we'll eventually come down to the floor in a straight arm plank combo in just a minute. Soft knees, tight core. Go ahead and sweep your arms up, shoulders down, core tight. Then drop your chin and slowly start to articulate down vertebra by vertebra. Knees and toes are facing forward. Your knees are soft. Really let your head, neck, and chest go heavy here. You have the option off the bat to do a ragdoll, so really hook your elbows and just let your arms, head, neck, chest gently sway or just hold heavy. You can also put your hands to the floor, your shins, your knees, wherever you're feeling comfortable today. Let everything kind of decompress here through that body. Now, gently press through your heels, squeeze through your butt and your core. You're going to articulate up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. Let's bring your arms up, shoulders down, relax through that head, neck, chest, and then just your chin is going to gently come down. Think about a candy cane spine, as I call it. So you're rounding up and over as you come down. Once again, you can deepen the bend in the knee if you need it. You can hook your elbows and let your body just kind of gently rock from side to side. Just breathe here. Then when you're ready, walk yourself out off the bat. We're going to do Pilates push-ups, guys. So you're going to walk yourself out into that straight arm plank. Your hands go a little bit wider than shoulder width and your elbows are soft. Option for knees with feet to the floor if you need a modification. Let's go ahead and bend those elbows nice and deep for a hold. Press on up. Pike your hips up by squeezing your core. Walk yourself back towards your toes. Hold your fold over. Press through your heels. Squeeze through your butt. Come on up slowly, vertebra by vertebra. We're going to do it again. So we're going to be here for a bit. So get really uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. Sweep your arms up, your shoulders down. Squeeze your core, soften your knees as little or as much as you need to. Starting from the crown of the head, you're going to slowly articulate down. Think about that nice candy cane spine rounding up and over a barbed wire fence perhaps. Hold here for a minute, head heavy. Walk your hands out to that sternum plank. Remember that knee option is available for you for your push-up. You're going to come down and hold it. Squeeze your core. Watch your butt. Is it piking or dipping here? Protect your back. Hold, hold, hold. Press up, scoop through your belly, pike your hips up, and walk your fingertips back towards your toes. Holding your fold over for just a second. Press through your heels, squeeze through your butt. So you know your pattern, guys. I want everyone to take this slow and controlled, like you're going through mud, sand, or water here. Super easy to speed this up. This is not a contest to see who can do this the quickest. If anything, it's a contest to see who can go the slowest. Let's bend those elbows, get to your deepest point, feel a shake through the chest, the shoulders, squeeze your core. Straightest legs you got, feel the quads pull up on those kneecaps. Press up, scoop through the belly, come on back. So keep going, you got this. I know it's big to start off from the get-go. We haven't done proper Pilates push-ups in a really long time, so this should feel good. Or something. Round up and over. Feel a candy cane spine once again. A tight, tight core, like someone's grabbing your waist to the ceiling. Walking out in about a 4 count to find your straight arm plank. Bend deep and hold. Tight core. Relax your shoulders. Press on up. Push the floor away. Pike on up. We do it again. Okay, guys, we got one more in us. I know we do. So let's go for it. Sweep your arms up, shoulders down, soft knees, tight core. Tip your chin down slightly and then start to really peel your spine off that pretend wall that's back behind you. Squeeze your core, walk out into your straight arm plank. We're staying down now. You're gonna hold it though first. Hold, hold, hold. Shift your weight forward. If you're on your knees, maybe try on your toes. Hold and breathe. Then gently come back up into your straight arm plank. Find your best plank position. Make sure that your nose is floating above, right between where your thumbs are. And if you're shaking, I am too, because I'm with you. Let's go for our floating tabletop position. Right leg in tabletop, left leg in tabletop. Your knees are floating, your shins are floating. Your back is flat. Right leg back, left leg back. Let's use our arms now. Right arm back, left arm back. Your knees bend, you're back in the tabletop. Right arm forward, left arm forward. You're back in your straight arm plank. So you start to alternate between fingers and toes, which one goes back and which one goes forth. Really go back deep here. Now, if this isn't fitting you today, you can hold a plank, or you can just do the arms or just do the legs. That's always an option, and I'm warm already, so I'm gonna put my hair up so you guys keep going. You want a flat back. It's very easy here to want to pike your hips to the ceiling. Pretend like you have a cup of coffee on your back. You're trying to keep it there so you're not moving all over the place. So your core, your shoulders should be feeling this. Your leg stops right in line with hip level. So watch you're not bringing knees to chest. Your right line with the hip and then right back out. You guys got this. This is a big way to start. You know you're capable. Don't give up. Remember your options. You can always hold a plank. You can even go to a sturdy piece of furniture and put your hands on that or the wall. Walk your feet back. You can just do alternating bends of your knees. There's a million different ways to avoid this if this is just not for you today. Or embrace it. Next one, go ahead and finish off whatever you have to, whether it's hands back or legs back. Hold it in your best straight arm plank. Hold, 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 breathe, breathe, breathe. Shift that weight forward one more time. Squeeze your core. Straightest legs you got. If you're on your knees, come to your toes, try it. Gently release by the child's pose. Breathe. Great job, guys. Beautiful start. Okay, come up to seated. We're going to do a very long side body series. So by side body, I mean seat and core. So if you need to take a minute for this, at any point, go for it. I'm going to try to spit out as many modifications as I possibly can. So sitting up straight, sitting up tall, your left leg is going to go at a 90-degree bend. Be very careful with this. You don't want your leg too close to your body. You want that extra wide support. So really bring your knee in line with your hip and your ankle. Your left side, we're going to start with your left, your right side. So let's reset. Your left arm, your left leg is going to be forward. Your right knee is going to be the one or right side is going to be the one you're working. Jeez, oh Pete, guys, sorry, my mirroring is broken today. So your right knee is going to be in line with your hip. Your heel is close to your seat. Two options of what to do with your upper body. So remember, you're working right leg. Also, if I say direction right or left and it's not working for you, feel free to do the opposite. Just make sure you take notes. You're not doing the same seat twice, like if you can't see too well or something. So, with all that said, two options of what to do with your upper body. Sit up straight and tall, hands in prayer. Modification, and you'll probably see me do this. You're going to take a hand to either side of your front knee, so slightly forward and slightly behind your knee, and gently hinge forward. Now, your right leg, you want to float that leg. If you can't, you float your ankle. If that doesn't work, you just squeeze that side of your butt, and you can put your hand there and you can feel it working as we go. So if you can, go ahead and float that leg up. It doesn't have to go high. You're just going to lift it and lower it. Lift it, lower it. You can slightly lean to the side as you lift and lower it as well. So you should feel this all throughout your side body. So here's your Z-step position. Sitting up straight, sitting up tall, relax your shoulders. Ideally, you're completely upright. That is a challenge and a half, and if you can do that, good for you. But always remember, this is available for you. And like I said, you're probably going to see me do this, because this is hard. You should feel that whole side body really start to work, all the way from the hip area to your seat area, so all up and down. Tiny lift and small movements, because this is the area of body that's really hard to work when you're in this position. Now, next one, hold it up. Your foot can be flexed or pointed, whichever feels more comfortable for you. Just take note. So you can do the same on the other side. Let's press back, tiny release. Press back, tiny release. So my foot is flexed, so I'm thinking like I'm pushing a footprint on someone or something back behind me. Keep as upright as you can. You want to feel this all up and down that side body. Squeezing as hard as you possibly can. We'll combine these moves in just a minute. If your hands are on prayer, try to make sure they're floating away from your chest. You're gently pressing your palms together. That way you get a little extra chest work. If you didn't get enough during our push-ups, now you are. Sitting up really straight and tall here, guys. I know it's tough. Now, let's go ahead. Let's do one up, one back. We're going to end with like a special little grand finale with this kind of Z-set position here in just a minute. It's almost like you're trying to wrap that leg back behind your body, back over to your left-hand side. Tight core. Sit up straighter and taller if you can. Tiniest movements. Now, next one. Let's go ahead and hold it at a hover. You're going to sit up straight and tall. Bring that leg forward in a bent position, almost like you're wrapping it in front of you now. Then bring it back. Squeeze and lift. Slide it forward. Sit up straight and tall. Bring it back on that diagonal or wherever you can. Squeeze and lift. Keep going, guys. I know it's tough. You should feel that whole hip area. Kind of get a little nip, a little warmth going. Sitting up straighter and taller each time you can. The leg is like a door on a hinge here, so it follows with the rest of the body. It moves as one unit. Good, everyone. Excellent. Do just a couple more of these, so 2 more. And on your last one, you're going to hold it back, and we're going to take some time getting into the next one. Lower that leg down. Now, take your left hand directly underneath your shoulder. Slide your left knee in line with your wrist and find a side arm plank position, straight arm plank position. The top leg that you just worked is going to go straight below you. Options of what to do with your hands, it could be behind your head, at your hip, reaching up or over, whichever feels better for you. You can also come down completely flat if this is not fitting for you at any point. Now, this top leg, lift it and lower it. Lift it and lower it. And you might need to kind of readjust, like I can tell my knee's not in the right spot. Watch your oblique here. You don't want it falling to the floor. You want to pretend like you're caught between 2 panes of glass, one in front of you, one behind you. Knees and toes forward. Once again, flex your pointed foot, whichever feels better for you. Straightest leg you got. When I do this, I like to lightly squeeze my butt to bring my hips slightly forward. I also like to squeeze my shoulder blades back behind me to slightly bring my chest forward. So that way you know you're really stacked. Hips are high, so your rib cage is making that half circle archy rainbow shape. Like I said, feel free to come flat completely if this is not suiting you today. Next one, let's hold it up nice and high here, guys. You're going to do little circles. So your big toe or your heel, depending if you're flexed or pointed, is going to trace the tiniest circle you could ever think of on whatever is underneath you. Tiniest little circle. The side glute should be feeling it. You might feel it in your supporting side as well. Your bottom oblique is working. Your shoulder is working as well, but watch you're not putting all your energy in that shoulder. So really get those hips up there. Readjust if you need to. Good, guys. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and reverse your circle. Smaller the better. Good, guys. Gorgeous. See if you can get that leg higher. I know you're getting tired off the bat, and it's okay. This is a hard one, but you got it. Hold your tightest circle. If your arm isn't already there, try to bring it up by your ear on the top. Now, crunch knee to elbow. Extend it out long. Last thing in this position, we're still going to be on this side, though. The top side is still going to be your working side, although they're both working in their own ways. Good. Keep that up, that hip nice and high. Use your oblique to think about really crunching knee to elbow as opposed to just arm and leg willy-nilly moving. Excellent work, guys. Gorgeous. Can you get those hips up any more? Now, on your next one, go ahead and lower down. That leg you just worked is going to go on the top, or excuse me, out in front of you. Your bottom leg, you can do a staggered stance position here, is going to go behind the top leg. Now, you can sit here and lift. That's fine. So just a little lift of the hip, lift of the hip. Watch your wrist. Make sure it's directly underneath your shoulder. Keep squeezing your hips. Now, if you want a challenge, come with me. Hand behind the head on the top. Your bottom leg, yes, your bottom leg, you're going to crunch. Opposite elbow, opposite knee, open back up. Remember, if that doesn't suit you, feel free to go back to just lifting. We got one more thing on this side. It is a forearm side plank. So don't worry, you're almost off of your wrist. I try not to get too risky. I think we have one other wrist thing after all this is said and done, but it's not till way later. So really try to take advantage of it. Go slow and small. This should not be a big sweeping movement. You might not actually be able to get your knee to your elbow, and that's okay. One more time in. Extend everything out. Then carefully come down to your forearm. Elbow is underneath your shoulder. We're still on the same side, so watch you haven't flipped yourself at all. Your top hand can be behind your head or at your hip, out or up, whichever feels better. Now, bring that bottom leg directly in line with your hip. Your top leg is going to go to a passe position. Knee will face up towards the ceiling as best as it can. Keep your hips high. You're just going to close that knee to a parallel position, so knee forward, lift it up. Good, guys, nice. If this isn't working for you, then you can come to your knees and do just a little stack of the knee and a little lift of the hip, or just a hold. Knees can be bent, or legs can be straight, your choice. But if you want that challenge, stick with that little ballerina dancer passe position. And excuse my French, I took like a million years of it and I still can't speak it. So I know I'm totally mispronouncing, but just do your best. You're almost there, guys. I will give you a break in between the other side because yes, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, we have another side. Good, guys, excellent. And your range of motion for this might be a little different, so you might not be able to get all the way closed, all the way open, and that's okay. Just do what works for you. Get your hips a little higher, push yourself up and off of the floor. Now hold your passe position, just lift. Last thing, tiny lift, open that collarbone. Squeeze that side seat and core, or excuse me, that side core a little more. Then go ahead, gently release it, shake it on out. It's a lot of shoulder work. Lots and lots of shoulder work. Before you flip to the other side, find a little bit of a child's pose here. You can reach your arms forward or you can reach your arms back and just kind of let your wrist shake out. Let your shoulders shake, kind of shimmy it out if you need to, no big deal. Really tough start, guys. You're doing an excellent job. Now, I'm going to try to mirror you correctly this time. So, your right leg, yay, your right leg is going to be at a 90-degree angle. Once again, watch where your heel is. You don't want it too close to your body. You don't want it too far away. The left knee is going to be in line with the hip. And then remember your choices here for what to do with your hands. Hands in prayer, floating away from the center of the chest, shoulders squared forward, or hand to either side of your knee that's on front with a slight hinge of your upper body. That leg is back behind you, flex or point to whatever you think you did on the other side. If you can't remember, just go with something. And then you're going to lift that leg up. Little lift, lower, lift, lower. And you remember, you can always try to sit up and maybe just slightly lean a little bit. That's okay. And that whole side body should start to warm. Press your palms together if you're doing prayer. If you're not, don't worry about it. Just keep a tight core and keep your hinge with your shoulders in and down. Terrific work, guys. Lots of side body stuff to begin, and then you won't be on your wrist for a while. So be very, very happy about that. It's a challenge, but you're doing great. When you're ready, hold at your high point, little presses back. This is where you want to think like your leg is wrapping around your body to the right, putting that footprint on whoever, whatever is behind you or the side of you. Blow out your birthday candles. Don't forget to breathe. So it's very hard. It's very easy to want to hold your breath here. Just breathe. And be proud of yourself for doing this, because this is tough. You got it, though. Sit a little straighter and taller, and let's combine it. So it's one lift, one back, and then we'll do door and a hinge here in just a minute. Swinging leg forward and back. You got it. Keep going. Just turning my music up, guys. Don't worry about it. Keep moving. I haven't forgotten about you. There we go. Good. Now hold it high. Let's go ahead, door on a hinge. Bring it forward, sit up straight and tall. Bring it back. Sitting up straighter and taller. Every time you bring that leg forward, the bend of the knee stays the same, so your body just moves in one unit. Now it's too loud. There we go. Good, forward and back. Press those palms together, squeeze the core. Remember, when you come back, you do a little mini press back of your leg by squeezing your seat a little harder. Good, guys. Go ahead, let's gently release it. Find that palm on the right-hand side down on the floor. It's going to be in line with your hip, so that'll help you stay in line a little bit more. Then you'll bring that bottom knee to the floor, also in line with the hip and the palm. Top leg that you just worked is going to go up. Hand can go behind the head. You're going to lift that leg, pointed or flexed foot. Get the hips nice and high. Lift and lower. So it takes a little bit of setting up, guys, but just be patient with yourself. If something doesn't feel right, readjust and join me right back as soon as you possibly can. Knees and toes forward. And be very mindful that you're not letting your side body closest to the mat collapse. So really use that bottom oblique to lift yourself. Remember, hand can go up, over, forward, hip, behind the head, wherever's working for you. If it's behind the head, be careful you don't push your head forward. Good, so that side glute, once again, side glute and hip should be feeling very toasty warm. Good, guys, straightest leg you got. Look down, can you take the bend away? Of course you can. Just get a little straighter, reach that heel or big toe across the room, or to whatever's underneath you right now. Hold it high, circle. Tiniest circles, smaller the better, guys. You look good. Tiniest little circles. Like I said, squeeze your butt forward, pinch your shoulder blades together behind you to really open everything. Excellent. And try to focus on something that isn't moving if you're feeling kind of unsteady, which this is a little bit of balance, believe it or not. Gorgeous job, guys. Get that leg a little higher, reverse your circle. Squeeze a little harder, you got it. I'm warm for you, so I'm sweating as well, and I'm just sitting here watching you guys. Killing it, doing a great job. Push yourself up and off the floor one more time. If your top arm isn't there, bring it up by your ear and take your shoulder in and down. Leg nice and high. Go ahead, crunch your leg towards your elbow by squeezing your core. Gently release. It's very tempting here to want to bring your hips backwards as you crunch everything forward. You really have to squeeze your core and really squeeze your glutes to stay stacked. So be very careful, your hips aren't shooting back. Also, you don't have to touch knee to elbow, so that's okay. Progress, not perfection, guys, remember that. Last one here, go ahead and extend it out long, that top leg, the top leg, yes, is gonna go out in front of you. You're gonna go for a wide staggered position. Hand goes behind the head. Remember, we can just lift hips here. We're finding that straight arm plank position. We're almost done with straight arm side plank, guys. You're almost there. Don't give up. Feel a little crunch in that bottom oblique. Now, if you wanna stay with the lifts, go for it, or you can join me. Bottom knee meets top elbow. And it is balancy. Once again, you might not make knee to elbow, and that's okay. Especially if you're form suffering, you can just do a tiny bend and extend, or with a twist, that's okay. Do what you can. You're about to hit your forearm plank on side plank in just a minute here. Keep your hips up though, you're almost there, don't give up. Breathe and get them a little higher, you guys are great. Keep going, this is so tough, but you are so capable. It is tough, but so are you. You got it. 2 more. Last one. Hold your leg back, stack your legs, and then carefully come to your forearm plank. Be very, very careful. Straight leg, outside leg, hand behind the head. You can reach up or out. You can find your inner ballerina here, and just close your leg to parallel. Open it back up. Keep your hips high as you move that knee open and close. Remember, you can always just keep both knees down and just do a lift and lower of the hip too as well. Or keep a top leg straight, do a lower and a lift. That works too. Whatever you do on the other side, do it on this side. You got this. Get that leg up a little more. Get those hips up a little higher. Move with the mobility that you can. You got this. Gorgeous job, guys. Get those hips up there. You're almost there. Next one, hold that passe open. So knee towards the ceiling as best as you can. Like I said, your mobility might be different. That's okay. Just lift, lift, tiny lifts. Relax your shoulders. Squeeze your core. I'm sweating too, guys. I'm sweating too. You got this. 2 more lifts. Then lower it down. You made it. That was a killer long set. Good job, guys. It is tough, but you can do it. Sit up straight, sit up tall. We will get a stretch for this. Hold on 1 minute. You're going to bring your feet flat, your knees bent, parallel hip width. So knees are going to travel in line with ankles and hips. And you're going to sit up straight. You're going to sit up tall. Round down halfway. Feel your abs catch. Come up all the way. Good. Round down halfway. Feel your abs catch, relax your shoulders. You can hold on behind the thighs, one or both hands. Round up all the way. So you're going to catch your breath here. And I said you get a stretch, but you will. Hold on for it. I just jumped to the next thing, so you'll get a stretch, so don't worry. That was cruel. I'm so sorry. Please don't write me hate mail in the chat. You got it. Good. Just focusing on your core. Remember, you can hold on lightly behind the thighs. You got this. Now, you can stay here, or you can reach your arm. If your arms are here, that's fine. You can keep them out and open them to a T. Keep going. So reaching out to either side of the room with soft elbows, relaxed shoulders. It's like you're sliding your tailbone underneath you. Button core squeezing, and you're only going to the point where you feel your abs catch. Rounding up and down. Now on your next one, twist side to side. So if you need to go back to something, you go back to our original movement. Make sure you hit center before you go to each side. Shoulders are relaxed. Elbows are soft. Your knees should be still. You might want to move from side to side and let your knees go to the opposite side, so you're twisting like this. Try to keep them as still as possible. Watch your range of motion when you do it. Now, if you want to take it up another notch, let's bring opposite leg up, reaching towards the toes. Leg is in tabletop. Come back through center. See if you can round a little deeper, guys. You look good. Relax those shoulders. Keep going side to side. We'll add another level to this in just a second. Round a little deeper if you can. And if you just need to go from side to side, not lifting a leg, or going back to what we originally did, go for it. Good job, guys. Think like you got punched in the gut, so I should see everyone's spine rounding. Avoid a hinge, so you don't want to flat back here, believe it or not. You actually want to round it back. Good. Excellent. Okay, next one, you're going to twist over to whichever side you're going towards. Opposite leg will lift if you follow me there. Extend that opposite leg long and straight. Bend it, return through center, place the foot down. Same thing, other side. Twist, extend, bend, lower square center. So just going side to side. I'm turning different profiles as I move so you guys can see me. And your obliques now are kicking up just a little more. Just going slow and controlled. Go through that mud, sand, water, peanut butter. Round a little more. You guys are doing a great job. Excellent. Way to power through. Even though I denied you of your stretch, you're doing great. You got it. Do one more to either side or whatever you have to do to even yourself out. And your leg does not have to be perfectly stick straight. So if you're struggling with a stick straight leg, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. Now, you're going to hold through center. Your arms are going to reach out shoulder width in front of you at your lowest point. Round super, super deep. Both feet are flat on the ground. Super slow, painfully slow, like a pearl necklace being set on a dresser, one pearl at a time. Bring your arms overhead. Extend your legs out long. Oh my gosh, here's your minute. Let your ribcage slightly pop. Relax your shoulders. And just breathe here for a second, guys. You started off really big and you killed it. You even went through the whole first part of abs without stopping between that crazy side body stretch that we did. Stretch of exercises, I should say. Okay guys, we're gonna go into some more concentrated ab work in just a second. Let's do a few roll downs to kind of clear it all out. Legs are straight, feet are flexed, parallel hip width apart. Remember, you can always go back to flat feet with bent knees, parallel hip width, if you need a modification. Lifting through your head, neck, chest, and arms, then rounding on up slowly with control. Arms can go by your ears for more challenge, or you can just reach them in line with your shoulders. You're rounding up and over a beach ball on your lap. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your core, slowly start to articulate down, vertebra by vertebra, legs stay heavy. Once again, if you cannot keep heavy legs, simply flatten the feet and bend the knees. Let's add a breath to it. Inhale, head, neck, arms, chest come up. Exhale, completely round up and over. Squeeze your core, get that sensation like you're having an internal tug of war, like someone is bringing your hands forward and pulling them, and your waist backwards, pulling that in the opposite direction. Then squeeze through your butt, squeeze through your core, slowly articulate down. We'll do one more, guys, one more. Biceps can frame the face, or they can simply reach to the ceiling. Slowly articulate up, round up and over. Squeeze the butt, squeeze the core. Slowly, painfully slow, articulate down, vertebra by vertebra. And let's get to some more core work, like you haven't had enough already. Now, you're gonna take your feet flat, your knees bent, parallel hip width apart. Hands can go behind the head, or you can reach. I'll tell you if I need you to specifically do one or the other. Your choice. Remember, if hands are behind the head, you're gonna take a V-shaped position with your elbows, not too wide, not too narrow, and your head will be heavy in your hands. For right now, I'm gonna keep my arms out, but feel free to do hands behind the head. Just going for a basic ab prep. Curl through your head, neck, and chest. Your arms will float in line with your shoulders by your side. Look towards your knees. Slowly articulate down, vertebra by vertebra. Once again, curl, head, neck, and chest, belly flat. Head, neck, and chest come up. Slowly articulate down, vertebra by vertebra. Keep going with that pattern. You can exhale as you come up, inhale as you go down, whatever breathing pattern works for you. I'm not going to try to get too set on breathing patterns, guys. I want you to really focus on your movement. We will add to this. So this is level 1. We will go up to level 2 here in just a second. Last basic ab prep, core tight. Your butt should be nice and soft. If I were to poke it, you wouldn't be tipping tailbone or squeezing your butt to lift anything. Slowly lower. Now, as you curl through your head, neck, and chest, one leg will come to tabletop. Knee aligned with ankle and hip. Lower down. You'll alternate. Now the other leg will come up. And remember, knee stops in line with hip. It's super easy to want to bring it towards your chest, try to fight it. Supposedly that's going to make your core work harder. I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's what I was told in training. Watch your low back, so be very careful. It's another reason to go slow. I don't want anyone to go too quick and feel this in their lower back. Try to really let that low back melt into the floor as best as you can.
So clouds your head that you can't find anywhere around.
One more time to each side. Then you'll bring your right leg up. You'll bring your left leg up. Hold it here. Legs are going to extend and they will bend. I am keeping my legs parallel hip width apart. Try not to let them move together because we are going to add leg movement here in a minute. If you need to lower through your head, neck, and chest at any point, go for it. That's a great modification. If you just need a minute without completely stopping, just lower the head, neck, and chest down. Let your legs bend and extend. Good, excellent work, guys. Look towards your kneecaps. That will keep your head in line with your spine. And your legs only go as low as that low back will allow. So if you feel your low back pop or you lose control of your core, just bring them up towards the ceiling or sky, wherever you're at. I don't know if anyone's outside right now. And that should eliminate that. Okay, we're gonna take it up another notch, guys, so get ready. Now you're going to extend it out. You're going to crisscross, 2, 3, 4, bend it back in. Extend it out long. Lowest point, crisscross, 2, 3, 4, bend it in, and then just keep going with that pattern. Once again, this is a great opportunity to lower through the head, neck, and chest. Your neck is also working for 1, 2, if you're not used to these movements, you're still building strength in your core, so don't get frustrated if you're like, my neck is killing me. Also, try to think more about lifting with the core and less about how high you can get your head, neck, and chest off of the mat. Good job, guys. Bent legs are okay when you extend. If you need to have a soft bend in them, that's okay. So if they're slightly bent, no problem. Good, guys, excellent. We have one more ab blast after this, and then we'll be moving on. Next thing, go ahead and hold those legs out. You're just gonna open and close. You're holding them out at your lowest, deepest point. Doesn't have to be your straightest. If you need to bend in tabletop or any bend in between and just open and close, go for it. Excellent work, guys. Then hold at your longest, straightest point. Nothing is moving unless you're trying to get your legs lower and hold it there. Bend a knee in, or bend your knees in, excuse me. Lower through your head, neck, and chest. Gently rock from side to side. Here's your chance to roll out your neck if you haven't already. Now, let's go ahead and curl back up. Right leg is going to go straight to the ceiling. Left leg is going to go to a hover. You can hold on lightly behind the thighs, behind the head, or just reach forward, whichever suits you here. You're just going to do a slow switch. Slow switch. So little scissor legs. Once again, lowering through head, neck, and chest is totally fine if you're just not there yet. Just like before, bent knees are okay, softly or deeply if you need to do that as well. Just be very careful of your low back. Core is obviously your focus, guys. You're doing great. And only go, and if you feel like, oh my gosh, I could do this all day long, if you'd rather do a lower, small swim, then go for it. Good job, guys. We'll add to this again in a minute here. Good. Excellent challenges. Those of you who can see at home and those of you who can't see, I'm sure you're killing it too. I'm sure everyone's doing a great job. Okay, now next one. Even if you're swimming, I want you to bring your arms out, or you can keep them behind your head, one or both. Keep your options open here. You're going to curl, come center, or come down completely. Other side, switch. Curl and reach. Come center or hover completely down, whichever feels better for you. So whether it's full scissor or just mini scissor swims, you're going to curl and reach, hover or come down completely, switch it out, go to the other side, curl and reach. Remember, bent knees are okay. Also an option too, flat feet, and you can lift one leg at a time and curl and reach. Or you can keep both feet flat, curl and reach, and just go from side to side. So there's a million different ways you can do this, guys. Whatever you do, do not stop moving though. Excellent work, guys. Let's do one more to each side. Then you'll hold through center. You can lower through your head, neck, and chest here. If you haven't already done it, find those tiny little swims at your lowest, deepest point. Let's get one more little blast of that lowest part of the core, right under the belly button. Watch the low back. If you are feeling that low back, if you can't feel your core very well, bring your legs up a little more. Also make sure you're squeezing your core like crazy and breathing like crazy as well. You got this, guys. Last little swims here. Then go ahead, bend your knees in, hug your knees in. You made it through your ab section. That was a long section as well. You did a killer job. Take your legs long below you, your arms long above you like you're in one of those medieval torture devices. Really reach your fingers and toes long below you, above you. Ribcage slightly pops and relax your shoulder. Flip on over to your stomachs. I want y'all to find a Cobra Stretch. I can only do it on my elbows, but you guys have the option to do it on your palms with straight-ish arms. I want you to push the floor away and feel your upper body, your head, neck, and chest rise. Get a nice stretch through the whole part of the upper abs. We'll flip back around for bridge in just a second, but I want you guys to make sure you get a stretch here. Good, guys, beautiful. Relax those shoulders. Gently come on down, flip on back over to your back, and we're going to go to bridging. So I'll give you your options for bridging as well. We'll start with level 1 like we've been doing for most of class. You'll start laying down through your head, neck, chest, and arms. Your feet go flat, your knees go bent, parallel, hip width apart. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your core. You're looking directly up at the ceiling. Start from your tailbone, slowly articulating up vertebra by vertebra. Squeeze that butt, squeeze that core. You should have that energy going across those shoulder blades. Straight diagonal from top of the shoulders to top of the knees. Hold here. Feel your butt hamstring area once again, right where that back of that thigh and glute meet. Heat up a little. Then slowly articulate right down the center of the spine with lots of control. So we'll do a couple of just regular bridges here, and then we're going to spice it up a little bit with more levels. Go ahead, tip your tailbone towards your nose. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your obliques, specifically sides of the torso, to come on up. Lots of control, energy shooting out of those kneecaps. I have my palms flipped up in case you're tempted to press into the ground to lift. Know that's an option. Then slowly lower with control. Squeeze that butt till your tailbone hits. So lots of articulation. Last one here, guys, and then we're going to add to it in just a second. Slowly come on up. Find your best bridge here. Now, flex your feet. You'll be on your heels and your toes will be up. You can come with me for this next option or stay with what we were just doing. Never any shame in your modification, so do what's right for you. Keep your butt and your core nice and tight. Starting with your right side, you're going to walk your ankle or your heel out an inch, then left side goes out an inch. Right side back an inch, left side back an inch. If you can take it out more, go for it. It's like you're doing mini hamstring curls, all while holding a bridge position. So you should really feel that hamstring heat up. Keep in mind, the further you go out, the more hamstring work this is. So by all means, go ahead, try a couple with your heels super far away from your body and try to walk them back from there. You will feel that hamstring heat up immediately, guys. As long as you can keep your hips stable and still, facing the ceiling, like little headlights on them, go for it. Take it out as wide as you can, or excuse me, as far away as you can, without your hips dipping, rocking, or twisting. Good job, everyone. And if you're like, okay, I tried a couple really far away, I'm good with just out in an inch, that's okay too. And always remember, go back to that original option of just lifting and lowering hips as well. Now, if you feel stable and you're like, okay, where can we go with more challenges? Then lift your arms up to the ceiling and try to stay as stable and as still as you can. Don't let those fingers interlace. You're just reaching hands in line with shoulders, so shoulder width, shoulder height. And try not to let those hips rock. It's really hard. I knew mine were rocking when I was reaching up to the ceiling. So it is a really big challenge, but by all means, if you're looking for a challenge, go for it. You got this, guys. You got this. We're not done with it yet, so just hold on to it. I want y'all to do one more time out and in, and then hold it in your best bridge position. So now your heels will be closer to your body. You can flap your feet now. Option for your heels to be up on your tippy toes, so highest heels in the closet if you want, or stay flat-footed. If you take the high heel option, more than likely you'll have to walk your heels a little closer to your butt. That's okay. Let's squeeze your knees closed, back to hip width. Squeeze your knees closed, back to hip width. So make sure it's truly hip width. So many times it's hip width and so many people are still open to either side of the room. So don't worry about it. You're not as wide as you might be feeling today. Just think about inner thighs on the closed, outer thighs on the open, like somebody's trying to squeeze your knees closed and you're resisting them. Relax your shoulders. Be careful of your necks. Like I said, energy's across the shoulder blades, so be very mindful you're not up on your neck. Be very careful of your low back. Always lifting with your butt, not your belly button. Next one, hold those knees at hip width. You're still nice and high. You're just gonna do little squeezes to lift. So I'm doing little squeezes to lift. You might not actually see me because that's how small the movement is. Really heating up in that hamstring seat area. So back of thigh and your butt. Should be feeling it. See if you can squeeze your butt a little tighter, guys. I bet you can. Good, everyone looks fantastic. 2 more squeezes. Then hold it high. Squeeze your butt till the end. Slowly articulate down. Flatten your feet out. Bring your right knee in. Your left leg will go straight, long, and heavy on the floor. If that's bothering your back, feel free to do a flat foot and a bent knee. That works too. Take your right leg up towards the ceiling. Straightest leg you got. Flex your foot. Feel a nice hamstring stretch here. Pull your leg as close as you can. Fight for a straight leg, guys. I know it's tough, and I know you're getting tired. You might feel this in your calf if you have tight calves today. That's okay. You have the option to hold on behind your calf, your thigh, or if you have your flexibility, grab your toes as well, as long as your head, neck, and chest can stay down. Hold here. Let's go for leg circles. So the left leg can flatten once again, or it can bend, whichever feels better for you. You can hold on, or you can release your hands. You're gonna go for these circles, whatever size circles you can make without your hips rocking or twisting. Bent knee is okay too, so if you need to bend your knee and go for it, that's okay. Squeeze your core. You can keep your flex foot, or you can point your toe, whichever feels better for you. Nice little breather here, guys. Remember, smaller the circles means that you're able to keep more control of your hips and your torso, pelvis area, core. Bigger the circles is a little bit more of a challenge, but do whatever you can. Good, guys, excellent. Reverse your circle when you're ready. And it doesn't have to be big, just breathe, relax. This is a nice little breather. Then hold your legs straight. If you'd rather grab behind it again, go for it. Or grab your toes if you have your flexibility, as long as you can comfortably rest your head, neck, chest on the mat, go for it. Feel that one last stretch, flex your foot one more time. Heel to ceiling, toes to shins. Bend your knee, extend your leg down nice and long. Let's do it all over again on the left. Left knee towards the chest, hug it in. Give yourself a breather here. Extend your leg long to the ceiling, flex foot, hold on behind the calf, the thigh, or once again, if you have your flexibility, grab onto your toes. Just be careful you don't hold on to the knee joint. Okay, when you're ready, you can release or gently hold on. Go for those leg circles. Pointed or flex foot, whatever you did on the other side, go for it. Remember, the goal is not who can make the biggest circle. The goal is to who can keep their pelvis and their torso as still as possible. So if you're making little dime-sized shaped circles or circles the size of a button on a shirt, then that's good, that's fine. As long as your pelvis and your core are nice and tight and still, that's all that matters. Keep going, breathe, breathe, breathe. And let's reverse it. One more circle, hold through center. Option to grab on for one last little stretch here, wherever you grabbed on before. You might be able to get your leg closer, straighter. Then gently release. Hug your knees into the chest. One last little breather here. Extend your legs long below you, your arms long above you. Flip on over. Let's go for some back extension. So you guys did a crazy amount of forward flexions, electric crunching. We're going to counteract all that by working the back of the body. Your legs, your choice, will either be glued together. If you don't have back issues, I highly suggest this. Pointed toes, that's okay. If you have back issues, go ahead, separate them hip width apart. Floating your legs, floating your whole body over your mat, floor, whatever. Take your arms to a T shape. My palms are down. Feel free to put your palms either forward or whichever way works for you today. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your core, pin your shoulder blades in and down together like you're catching a pencil between your back. Start your arms in a T. You're going to rainbow forward, rainbow back to a T, rainbow backwards, rainbow forward to a T. So rainbow forward, back, rainbow back, come to a T. Your legs are just floating in space. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your core. Everything should be hovering off your mat as best as you can. It's not about height. Once again, this is about length. So you want to try to get your crown of your head to touch whatever's in front of you, your toes to touch whatever's below you. Shoulders are relaxed. Squeeze them together, the blades, not the actual shoulders. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your cores. You want to think like you have hot sand under your belly, so you're really scooping out through that belly. Excellent work, guys. Breathing with control. Exhale like you blow out a birthday candle. Next one, let's hold those arms forward. They're almost like in a little V shape here. Take your legs out below you into a little V shape and swim. Relax your shoulders. Squeeze your core. Watch you're not rocking. And just breathe here. I'm not giving you a breathing pattern for this one. I just want you to breathe how you see fit. Good, excellent job, guys. Now, next one, just hold everything still, long and straight. Remember, length over height. So if you're trying to fold yourself to the ceiling or the sky, it's wonderful, but really try to reach to whatever's above you or behind you or below you. Then gently come out of it, find a child's pose. Get a little opposition through the spine, so round through the spine, taking it up and off of your lap here, your core, up and off of your lap, and just breathe. Coming onto all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. I told you we'd have one more little wrist thing. This one has an option to take it up a notch if you'd like, but we'll start with level 1 first. We're going for just a regular kind of bird dog type of position. Soften your elbows, and just as you might know or might not know, you're going to take opposite arm, opposite leg, squeeze and lift. Bring it back down, switch it out, squeeze and lift. So this is level 1, like I said, guys. You want to have a tight core, and you're only lifting to the body's best of ability. So if you're finding yourself lifting so high, you're kind of let your low back kind of crunch, ribs fall to the floor, squeeze your core, and try not to lift up as high. Now, your challenge option for this, we did floating tabletop earlier in class. You do bird dog and floating tabletop. And yes, it is a challenge. So your knees and shins come to a float, and you slowly switch it out. It is balancey. I went through it way too quick because I was going to fall over. So if you do it, squeeze your core a little harder. You are talking more than likely, so you're going to be able to control it a little bit more than I was. And just try to lift to the best of your ability. You might not be able to lift as high as you were when you're on all fours comfortably. So just do your best to have fun with it. If you fall over, just be careful, one, and then laugh at yourself if you're okay, and just enjoy yourself. Relax your shoulders and breathe. And if you just need to stay on all fours and just very, very, very slowly switch opposite arm and leg out, go for it, guys. You'll do one more to either side. And then, once again, I want you to go ahead, find your child's pose, shake it all out, round through your spine, shake your wrists out, shake your shoulders out, do a little shimmy. You'll come onto your elbows. Elbows go underneath shoulders. You're in this kind of tabletop-like position, but I'm giving your wrist a break on purpose. You're going to take your right leg back behind you, and then only lifting your leg to about hip height. I don't want you to go higher because, as you just saw, my lower back kind of crunched a little. So you really want to try to keep your lower back safe. That's why you're not going so high. Knees and toes, this is my right leg, but feel free to use whichever works for you. Just take note. Knees and toes on my right side are facing towards the floor. Now, my foot is going to be flexed here. I'm going to squeeze and lift my leg, then tiny release, turn my leg out, point my toe, squeeze and lift my leg, tiny release. Go back to parallel, flex my foot, squeeze and lift, lower, pointed, slight turn out, squeeze and lift, lower. So you should feel that hip socket kind of just roll, feel that femur bone just rolling in that hip socket. It's not a major movement. You don't have to do the flexing and pointing if it's too confusing for you. So if you just want to point and turn it out and in with a lift, go for it. Leg does not have to be perfectly straight. Your shoulders are relaxed. Then we're getting towards your last thing, guys. So this is what your last big thing. So just embrace it. Side seat, hamstring, glute area. So that whole side seat. This has been a very glute intensive class. So if anybody was looking for a J-Lo booty, I think you might have found it today after this class. Nice little peach bottom. So, so just enjoy it. And make sure your weight is centered. It's going to be really easy to really float everything over to your supporting side and try to center it as best as possible. Now, on your next one, you're going to stay in parallel. Straightest leg you got, your toes and knees are all facing the floor, tiny little lifts. And as you do these tiny little lifts, I want you to start to open your leg out towards the right. So we're going back to that turnout position, and we're eventually going to open up all the way as close to your right elbow as you can possibly get. And you're just lifting, lifting, lifting. Center that weight and just lift. You're bringing that knee to that elbow as close as you can. Now you're going to flex, lift, point, lift. Once again, if flexing and pointing is too much to think about, just squeeze and lift. If you need to softly bend that knee, just squeeze and lift. That's okay. Just keep moving. So now that we're getting back into that side glute area, we only have one more thing on this side, and I'll give you a bit of a break, and you'll go to the other side. And for real, a break. no more joking breaks. Next one, you can hold your foot flexed or pointed, whichever works for you. I just want you to hold it as close to your elbow as you can. Center the weight. Get that leg straighter if you can. Get it higher if you can. Gently release it. Find that child's pose position on the floor. Walk your hands and your head, neck, chest over to the left and feel a nice little side body stretch in that right side. We'll get a deeper hip, thigh stretch in just a minute. Outer thigh, hip area stretch in a minute. I wanted to call it an elbow for some reason, so that's why I stammered for a bit. And then go ahead, go to the other side real quick. And then come up. I'm gonna flip around so you guys can see me on the other side, but you do whatever you need to do. Once again, right or left leg, excuse me, is gonna go straight out behind you, flex foot. You're just gonna squeeze and lift. Turn it out, squeeze and lift, lower. Parallel, squeeze and lift, lower. Turn out, squeeze and lift, lower. So remember, when you're in that turnout, your leg, your knees and toes are going to face the left now, then they're going to go down to the floor and lift. So all it is a turn of the leg, the smallest turn you can ever think of. I know it's hard to probably see the detail on camera. Now you're going to start to make a parallel leg, up and down, squeezing, squeezing, slowly taking it out. As you slowly take it out, start to open your knees and toes to whatever is above you. Flex your pointed foot, whatever feels good for you. You know we're gonna alternate here in a second. Center that weight as best as you can. You might need to take your elbows slightly wider to really get a bigger base of support, and that's okay. Now you're gonna flex lift, point lift, or point lift, flex lift, whichever one you're at. Just keep alternating, and if it's too confusing, just squeeze and lift. Good job, guys. Center that weight. You got it. Wide elbows if you need it. So you can walk them out a little more. Good. Everyone looks awesome. Now, next one, hold at your highest, straightest point and breathe, 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 breathe. See if you can get that leg higher, straighter. Center that weight one more time. Don't get discouraged. This is the tough one. Slowly release it down. Good job, guys. Excellent. Let's get a little stretch for that. So you're going to come on down to your back. Lay on down, whichever foot. Your feet are going to go flat. Your knees are going to go bent, parallel hip width apart. I'm jumping the gun. You're going to take whichever foot is going to need the stretch the most, or whichever side's going to need the stretch most, over your bent knee. Flex your foot. Pull that shape in towards your body, option, or you can stay with where you're at. I like to gently place my elbow in the same side, so right elbow, right knee, for example, are going to meet, and gently press that elbow to my knee just to get a little bit more of an intensified stretch. But if that doesn't work for you, like I said, you can always just stay here. That's totally fine. Carefully come up. Same thing other side. pull that shape in if you need it. Like I said, we did a lot of side seat work today, guys. A lot of outer body, lateral body work. So lots of outsides of the body muscles were working today, and everyone did an exceptional job. Bring your both knees in towards your chest. Transitional roll up. Legs go flat, feet go flexed, arms up by the ears, lift through your head, neck, and chest. Roll on up, and I'll turn this way so you can see me. Glue your legs together, round up and over or hinge if you want an intensified stretch. Let your hamstrings work. And just breathe here. Then gently, slowly come on up, guys. You made it. The hour's up. You're done. It's over. Everyone, round of applause. Great work. I'm Whitney once again. If anyone has any questions, let me know. The chat is open. Thank you so much, guys. You did a really good job with a very challenging class. Good job.